Hey everybody, today we're going to quickly talk about the distributive property. I know you've seen this before, so hopefully this is a refresher. Okay, so remember that when you distribute a number, there's two different terms inside the parentheses and there's a term on the outside that's multiplication. So I'm going to put an X here for multiplication. Okay, so you distribute the outside term to both of the inside terms. So A times the quantity B plus C is AB plus AC. Okay, distribute. And sometimes it comes after the parentheses. And so remember, multiplication is commutative. So you can multiply backwards like that, and you'll still get the same answers. So one of the things that we can use the distributive property for with numbers is mental math. So instead of doing 26 times 102, I could write this as 26 times 100 plus 2, and then distribute. 26 times 100, 26 times 2, to get 2,600 plus 52, because that's what 26 times 2 is, and we end up with 2,652. And then sometimes you don't have to do 90 plus 7. You could actually do 17 times 100 minus 3. And by doing that, I get 1,700 when I do 17 times 100. And then 17 times 3 is 51. And subtraction, so I do 1,700 minus 51, and that ends up being 1,600, 1,649. More importantly, in algebra, we're going to use this when there is an algebraic expression in the parentheses, including a variable. So 3 times the quantity 4x plus 2, I'm going to distribute the 3 to both the 4x and the 2. Now, whenever there's a coefficient in front of a variable, that's what you multiply the number on the outside by. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 4, and I get 12x. Then 3 times 2 plus 6. You try the second one on your own. If you distribute the 5, you get 5 times 2x, which is 10x. Then 5 times minus 3 is minus 15. If there is an expression written as negative times the quantity 2x plus 3, you distribute the negatives as if it were a negative 1 to equal, and this is wrong, oopsies, negative 2x minus 3. So distribute negative, or if it helps, think of it as negative 1. Negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. And then negative 1 times 6 comes minus 6. Try the second one on your own. Take the negative 1 and distribute to the 8, so it's negative 8. Distribute the negative 1 to 4x, you get minus 4x. Excuse me. A term is a number, a variable, or the product of both. So for example, negative 5 is a term. That's just a number. X can be considered a term. That's a variable. 2c is the product of both a number and a variable. Negative 4m squared. A constant is a term with no variable. So negative 5 is considered a constant. A coefficient is the number in front of a variable. So in this case, the coefficient of 2c would be 2. Negative 4m squared, the coefficient is negative 4. Those are coefficients, the number in front of the variable. And you always write the coefficient in front. Make sure you write that down. Not C2 or negative M4. Those are incorrect. Okay? You always write the coefficient in front of the variable. And finally, like terms have exactly the same variable factors. So what I want you to do is copy down these like terms and not like terms. For example, 3x and negative 2x, both of them have a variable x, so those are like terms. Both of these two terms have x squared in them, so those are like terms. Both of these two terms have xy. And be careful, because sometimes you'll have the same variables, but they also have to have the same exponents. So x squared y cubed, x squared y cubed. Those are like terms. Not like terms are where the variables are different. So x and y are not like terms. Y and y squared, even though they have the same variable, they're raised to different exponents. This is y to the first power, and this is y to the second power. Y and xy, this first term is missing an x in it, so they are not like terms. X squared y and xy squared, again, they have the same variable, but they're different exponents. This one's x squared, this is x to the first. This is y to the first, this is y squared. So you can't combine them. With like terms, you combine like terms in addition and subtraction. So combine like terms. So over here I have 6x plus 5x. So what do you think that equals? Well, since they both have a variable x, the answer is going to have an x in it. It's not x squared because you're adding. It just stays x. But then you combine the coefficients. So 6 plus 5 equals 11. Over here, notice I have m cubed and n squared. So since I have an m squared, I'm going to underline it twice. And this can help you group like terms. So I have negative 9m cubed plus negative 4m cubed. Those two are like terms, so I can combine those. Negative 9 plus negative 4 is negative 13. And then m cubed. And if it helps when you're doing problems like this, cross them out when you're done. So negative 9m cubed plus negative 4m cubed is negative 13m cubed. And then because I can't combine m squared with m cubed, I just bring the minus 5m squared down, and then it stays separated. So hopefully you found this informative and like a refresher from last year. If you have any questions, ask me in class, and I hope you have a great day. See you later.